Yo, Havik Nation has arrived. Welcome to Pause and Rewind, because that's just what we do here. Listen, more Dax. I didn't think I was going to be reacting to this much Dax on the channel, man, but I'm glad I am, because I am a fan of Dax. This is like the third time that he's on the channel in such a short amount of time, so I would imagine that there's more Dax on the way on the Pause and Rewind. But this one is called Dax to Be a Man Remix. Now, I've never heard like the original non-remix, you know what I'm saying? I saw that he did like a duet kind of thing where people were allowed to do verses or something like that, and he put together a whole remix type of thing for this one. I also didn't see that. So this is kind of my first exposure to this. The only reason I'm checking it out is because a few days ago, Dax posted that he had a special guest coming or whatever, and I was waiting for the announcement, and then the announcement came, and it was Darius Rucker. I was like, what? How you link up with this dude? That's cool. I'm a fan of Darius Rucker. I think a lot of people are. I mean, he's an OG, been around for a while, right? Only wanna be with you. Right? So, Dax and Darius Rucker? I'm excited to check it out, man. But before we do, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that y'all can stay up to date with me. And we're going to jump into Dax to Be a Man remix featuring Darius Rucker. This is the official music video. Havik Nation, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go!
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man.
Got a little country
it's
twang.
A lonely road.
Lonely road.
And they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around. Beyond the county lines of my small town, I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make a sound.
Whoa, Darius, what the hell? Come on, I wasn't ready for this. I need to hear this whole verse again, man. You touching my heart right now. Whoa. To be a man. Okay, man, they speaking, man. Yo, and it's crazy to be like, you know, I'm a father, right? I'm obviously also a son. So I'm relating to this heavy, you know what I'm saying? Just knowing what things were like when I was a kid. You know, my dad wasn't around. You know, feel me? I didn't have my dad. So the fact that I'm a father now, like my, you know, I don't know, like my goals and stuff, the things that I want to set for my son is like obviously different from what I had, but I'm so much more like, it's like I have to do it because it wasn't done for me. You know what I mean? Sometimes for people, it's like I need to do what my dad tried to do for me. I got to do it and do it better. But my dad wasn't there, period. You feel me? So it's like hard to mimic what my dad was doing for me, because that's not what I want, right? So I'm like doing things that I want to do for my son that wasn't done for me, that I need to make sure that he has. Everything that wasn't in my life, I need to put in his. Everything that I was missing, I need to make sure that he has. everything that I needed, I need to make sure that he got. You feel me? And everything that was missed, I need to make sure that it's not missed for him, as he grows up. So those are things that I keep on my mind every day. But it's crazy how they talking about, like, you a man, right? You dealing with all this on the inside, but you're not making a sound. You don't make a sound, right? Because you got to be a foundation, man. Hey, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things to being a man. It's not like there's not certain things to being a woman or a mother. It's not better or worse or, this and that. It's just different. It's just different. And there's certain things for men that we do and we try to do and we have to do, and being a foundation, is one of those things, especially for your kids or for your son. You're trying to be a role model. You're trying to be somebody that they can look up to. You're trying to be somebody that teaches them strength and humility at the same time, right? Yeah, this is very interesting, the way he broke that down and sang that. I was not expecting this. I didn't know what this song was about, but I guess I should have known. I should have known. That was so beautiful. So I'm gonna listen to that again, man. Really, really get into this.
But what you provide inside that home.
Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I'll give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home.
Now, you see what's happening in this story here? I was listening to Darius's words so much, I was kind of missing this, right? So, could be a single father here, either divorced or widowed or whatever. He's doing what he can, probably working hard, putting food on the table. Looks like the kid got up and walked down on him, and he's like, okay. And it's crazy, right? Because, man, you breaking your back. You bending over backwards for people who don't even understand the sacrifice yet. And I think in his lyrics later, he says, I understand what your pain and what you went through because I'm doing it now. And that's the thing, man. Like, it just sucks that we don't get it until later, and sometimes too late. You know what I'm saying? I lost my mom when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? She was in her 30s. I lost her very, very young. You know what I mean? And some things you don't get until later. You know what I mean? So for those of y'all that have, like, lost parents and didn't understand until afterwards, or didn't get to say things that you wanted to say and things like that, this is rough, man. Seeing this little story play out, doing it for somebody that you got to do it for, but they don't get, the methods and the reasonings and the hard work and the struggle and the sacrifices and things like that you got to do in order to get them what they need and where they're going, and you feel probably underappreciated. I know some of y'all probably know that you were not the nicest person to your parents. You might have been rude or just underappreciative or disrespectful or hard to deal with and things like that. And for whatever reason, we don't see it until so far later. You know what I mean? So shout out to those parents, man, that stick through it, through all of that, man, because I've always said it. Being a parent is the hardest job in the entire world. That's not to discredit any jobs, right? Being a president, being law enforcement, being a judge, being a teacher, being a coach, whatever. They're all difficult jobs. But being a parent, I really don't think there's any harder job than that. To be responsible for an entire life, to raise them, teach them, bring them up, while the relationship also might not be so good, or, they go through phases where they don't even like you or something like that. I mean, it's just so hard. And then when they go out into the world, they're your legacy, right? They're your representation, of what you did inside the home and the values that you instilled in that person. It's a tough job, man. It's hard to be responsible for a whole life for decades at a time. You know what I mean? And man, it's crazy. That's definitely the hardest job.
And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same.
That's the thing, man. Whew. One day you'll have to do the same, man. You don't get it now. But one day you will get it, and you're going to do exactly the same that I'm doing, that I had to do. You're going to get it, man. You're going to go through all the motions as well, man.
Get emotional when I stop and think and I look around. Beyond the county lines of my small town, I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make
I
a
can't
sound.
hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health, then grab that body.
Woo! Try not to get emotional here, man. This is stuff that every dude thinks about, man. It's a lot. And it is crazy. I mean, he threw in this example of not being able to express yourself. And you can, right? You can express yourself, sure. But it's a different type of expression. I mean, again, when you have like a family that looks to you or depends on you or whatever, and you're their rock, you're their strength, you're their like protector, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You have to be strong. You do. You have to. Doesn't mean you can't like express emotions or anything like that, but it's not the same, and sometimes that's just a very limited approach. Because could you imagine if like your like dad just cried every day or something? Like everything, no matter what it was, just crying. Like, it's just an emotional thing. You're like, damn, Dad, you crying again? You know what I'm saying? But like, but when your dad doesn't really cry, and then that time that you see him actually cry, it means something, right? It's deep. It's something that's really hurting him, because it's rare that he does. That's the case for a lot of men, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of fathers, that's always the case, man. When you finally see them break down, you're like, damn, okay, it must be something, right? So there's just a difference in the way that things are expressed. And now he throws this thing, people go off to war, get thrown off of the shelf, and then come back home and now have to go to war with their mental health. That is crazy. Military, it's not for me, man. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That these people that I salute to them, man, because they can go to war, deal with this, deal with that, fight for the country, and then come home and have to deal with things that unless you went through it, you'll never understand, right? PTSD and all these things. People throw that like term and around a lot. People who don't even really understand what that is. It's said so much. A lot of people don't really understand exactly what that means. That is that's serious. You know what I mean? And unless you are also dealing with it or understand somebody who is dealing with it, you'll never really get it, man. A lot of these folks have to come back and deal with that type of stuff. And some folks come back and it was like they didn't just serve for 20 damn years. You know what I mean? They back and they're struggling and they're dealing with this and they're dealing with that, and they don't really have the help that they need. That's tough, man. It's tough to hear. It's tough to see. You know, stuff like that really does bother me.
They can't express. They go to
And my dad, all his brothers, all my uncles, every single one of them in the military. Every single one of them jumping out of planes, jumping out of helicopters, infantry, all that. Every single one of them. Every single one. You know what I mean? And I understand the effects of what that does to somebody. I've seen it, dealing with it, even today. Like, you can see what something like that does to somebody. It is rough.
get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health. Then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do with themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die. And that's
exactly what I was just saying, man. They don't know what you're worth till the day that you die. Sometimes you just find out things too late.
Realize that they're gonna have to do with themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die. And that's when they start crying, then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We can hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be your man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home.
It's not about what we feel. It's about what we provide inside that home. Come on, man. Strength, foundation, stability. That's just something that's innately like in our blood to do those things. It's just there. Like, it's just there, man. Like, that's wired job. That's a wired job. You know what I mean? To like do that. You can't help it. It's just what it is, man. And yeah, it's just wild, man. He said it's not about what you feel, it's about what you provide inside that home. We just want to make sure our family is straight. Good men want that. That's what good men want. A good man wants to provide, strengthen, support, and help his family grow. Because that's his legacy, man. That's what he's leaving behind when he's gone, right? So you're going to put everything into it, regardless of what you got to do to make it happen. You're going to do it. You don't have time to be trying to, you know, mope around and sulk and this and that, because that's not going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got people that's dependent on you and counting on you and all that. And you got to be their push and, you know, their teacher and their mentor and their, you know, provider and their, you know, when they're scared at night, their comforter. Like, you feel me? You got to be all this type of things. You got time to be sulking about nothing, even though they're all things to sulk about. You know what I mean? So it's very, very impactful message here.
Provide inside that home. Inside that home.
Y'all smooth.
That
Look
home.
at you. That's you, homie. Look at the OG, man. Pictures like this really, like, touch my heart, man. It gets me. Like, I get choked up seeing folks, you know, young and serving and military and all that. And then, like his verse was saying, you know, you see them grow and they're old now and they're asking for help and they just reach for the alcohol, or they reach for the drugs, or they reach for this. You know, there's a lot of unaliving, right? In that as well, where people can't deal with it, right? And they're just not getting the help that they need. And then you find out that, damn, I'm in this by myself, even though I didn't just did all of this for everybody else. You know, that is tough. Lord, look at you, OG. You look good though, man.
It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that
Look at y'all, man. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Real simple message, man. But again, if you a man and you a father, then you know exactly what's going on here. You know exactly what they saying. You know exactly what they talking about. You know what I mean? And shout out to all the service members and military and those fighting and veterans. I salute y'all, man, because I know y'all didn't, gone through it. But what you went through isn't over just because you came home. You know what I mean? So my heart and prayers go out to y'all, man. I think about people like y'all all the time. Cause I'm like, damn, man, it's just, sometimes it's just messed up and I hate to see it, Hopefully y'all are surrounded by people that love you and that understand, and you do have the support and help systems and things like that you need. Cause I do think that's very important. But, salute to y'all. Salute to the good dads out there, the fathers, the men, the providers, the strength, and whatever home foundations that y'all are holding on to and building. I salute y'all, man, because obviously not every man is a good man and not every father is a good father, right? Not every man is a good man and not every father is a good father. So I'm talking about the good men and I'm talking about the good fathers. Now, I didn't say perfect men and I didn't say perfect fathers. I said good. The ones that are giving the effort, that are, that show interest in their kids' lives and their livelihood and their future, that are around and that aren't afraid to show love, that type of that. Shout out to y'all, man, because, these kids are our future. And it's up to us and everybody around us to raise everybody with the best intentions, with the best values, the best morals, in order to keep it going. You know what I mean? But it takes good people to do that. And again, not everybody is good. But I absolutely love this song. It's real mellow, real chill. Love the vocals. Can't believe we got this link up. This is real cool. Darius did a great job. I actually really, really love the verse that he laid down for this. Real smooth. Real simple location, farmland. Got the old barn in the back with the pickup there. Yeah, it's just a nice feel, man. And Dax sounds good on this too. So anyways, that was Dax to Be a Man featuring Darius Rucker. Yeah, great song. Definitely something to think about. And my son right here napping right now. I got the baby monitor. I'm going to go in there and give him a big sloppy kiss and wake his ass up. But anyways, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all like the reaction. And yeah, we'll definitely be doing more Dax. Let me know some recommendations of other artists I should be taking account to. And we can throw them on the channel as well. I appreciate y'all. Havik Nation. Be easy.